Well, after turning 50, our next guest noticed she was feeling sluggish, gaining unwanted weight, and was in a bit of a so-called, funk. So rather than accept the person she'd become, she decided to turn her life around and created a foolproof guide to help others achieve the same. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to everybody Roxie Bennett. She joins us now live from my hometown in Geelong this morning. Roxie, good morning to you. The book is called The Butterfly Plan. What is in this guide? It's a great name, great picture on the front. You're looking magnificent. Where did the name come from?
Look, it really came, oh, hi, Bec. It really came out of the idea that it's about transformation. And I think when you think about a butterfly, that's a great metaphor for transformation. But realistically, it was about how I felt. Honestly felt like this big fat old moth. And I wanted to feel like a vibrant, amazing butterfly. So it was about getting to that point. And that's not necessarily easy, but that's okay. We can do this.
Well, it's a 12-week program, and to me that seems reasonable to wrap your head around, dedicate something, and I'm sure you can make a lot of changes in 12 weeks. Talk us through it. What do you do on week one? What do you have to do to change your life?
Look, to start off with, you've actually got to make the commitment. At the end of the day, if you're not prepared to make the commitment, then don't do it. I don't want people to do this and then fail. It's not about that. I think you need to really say, okay, I'm drawing the line in the sand. I'm going to make some changes in my life. And those changes mean that I'm going to have to do some different things. So for me, it was around start getting my head right, start thinking better, start doing some meditation, doing some good breathing, get my head in the right space. Then it's around getting some joy in your life, making sure that you have joy. And too often we just don't. Then there's a bit of movement, and I don't want you to go and join a boot camp. Just go walking or do some yoga. And then you've just got to look at what goes inside that mouth. That's really one of the big ones. But my big crazy one, Bec, is the gut. The gut is our brain. People call it the second brain. I don't believe that. It's the first brain. And if we can get our gut right, you'll be rewarded.
So what do you mean about that? Are you saying the gut health or eating foods that are good for our gut and keeping out the bad foods?
All of the above. I think that we're only really now discovering how important our gut is. But I know that for me, when I started stopping with the processed sugars and carbs, that my gut changed and my whole body changed. I was dosed up on anti-reflux meds. I was on antidepressants. I was on painkillers, a lot of stuff. And that was just terrible for my gut. But once I got rid of all of that stuff out of my diet, all of a sudden I found that I was feeling better, but emotionally I slept better, my body worked better, I stopped experiencing pain, and funnily enough, the reflux went. And
but Roxie, there's a lot of diet books out there, but this one is particularly aimed at women, so 40, 50, 60 plus, I imagine. Why is that? Why did you want to target, that's your sort of target audience and that's where your age sits, but why did you want to target women in those specific age groups?
Look, Bec, I think that we get to a certain point, and particularly our generation of women, we're the first generation of women that have sort of experienced life in the way that we have. Our mothers didn't do what we did, and not that they had life necessarily easy, but we're running corporations, we're running families, we're looking after our partners, we're looking after our kids, or we're not having kids, but then we're going through menopause and we're looking at our life and we're giving. And then all of a sudden we realise, hold on, my waist circumference is at a really unhealthy range. I never do anything for myself other than have a glass of wine or eat a cake. I really need to just stop and start focusing in on myself. And I think that a lot of women at this age, they almost feel a bit invisible. A friend of mine said to me, how can somebody so fat be so invisible? And that just really cut me to the core. And I think a lot of people, women my age and around my age, feel that.
Well, you have made a remarkable transformation, Roxie. I think it's wonderful. It's called The Butterfly Plan. Congratulations on is the book out yet? Can everyone get it, or is it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
it is out, and it's you can jump online. It's thebutterflyplan.com. Just jump online and order your copy. And for those in your hometown, Bec, they can go to the Newtown Post Office and get one.
Well, there you go, in the good old town of Geelong. Roxie, it's been great to catch up. As I said, congratulations on the book. I think it's a diet book, but also a plan to make your life, live a happier and more fulfilled life. So well done.